Massive amounts of alarm are needed for this. Not only has the WHO mentioned it, but also the CDC. It's time to panic. Hey my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy ZNF1 here. So today I want to talk with you guys about monkeypox and kind of like the whole hysteria hype and everything like that that's being projected on the news and why it's so strange, and kind of like where it could potentially lead. Before we get into this though, let's cue intro. Now imagine that we didn't have the whole hysteria, paranoia, and lockdowns, all that fun stuff with COVID, and now we're hearing this instead of it right now. How do you think people would be reacting to this now if they weren't so, used to and conditioned to hearing stuff like this? Now, I'm not necessarily saying that as in like, oh, we were forced to be conditioned this way. We had to adapt to get used to this sort of stuff in order to stay mentally sane, or that's what a lot of people would argue. Monkeypox has already been so ubiquitously reported that even the WHO themselves have made an announcement on it and called for an emergency meeting. That's quite a big thing, isn't it? Now, a quick reminder, COVID-19 has shown us how quickly new rules, laws, regulations, etc. can be invoked, and how easily it is for big conglomerates to make ginormous sums of money in the midst of a whole pandemic. It's especially true for very powerful ones, like Amazon, big pharma, big tech companies, etc., especially those like, Facebook. And even who? The CDC has even mentioned it? Oh boy, this is going to be big, folks. Massive amounts of alarm are needed for this. Not only has the WHO mentioned it, but also the CDC. It's time to panic.
Monkeypox, a rare disease called monkeypox.
CDC issuing a new warning now about monkeypox.
And don't forget, folks, anyone can catch monkeypox. That invokes fear, right? What did the mainstream media and big pharma do with COVID-19? Is this the new COVID-19? And did Bill Gates predict it shortly after he miraculously and magically predicted the most recent one? The man predicted it right before the whole pandemic started, which is really coincidental. Now, the WHO, the World Health Organization, is already involved in this within such a short time of the monkeypox outbreak being announced. The WHO, by the way, is funded mainly by the US government, Bill Gates, and the UK.
Wow.
According to initial reports, the meeting will focus on how the virus is spread and vaccination, with talk of repurposing stocks of a smallpox vaccine for close contacts of infected people. Now, I'm not saying this is the case here, but that could suggest that they're potentially going to focus and prioritize profit, or, make finances their priority. Many people were frightened and paranoid for the past couple of years due to the mental conditioning from lockdowns, plus all the mainstream media's info and misleading info out there on COVID. And many weren't aware of this, but ever since the beginning, actually, you were less likely to get COVID just by simply having natural immunity than if you got one booster by itself and didn't come in contact or get it at all, or you got the one dose plus the 50 million boosters that came after. In actuality, you were more likely to get it. On the flip side, however, though, if you were to catch it and then recover, getting natural immunity, and you chose to get a vaccine as well too, you were actually 3 times more likely. So you're just slightly more likely to have better antibodies than what you would naturally, which is still pretty good. But the natural immunity in itself was still always very viable, but you wouldn't hear about that until after all the whole mass paranoia, or mass psychosis as a lot of people called it, calmed down. And people started to, forget about everything and started to go back to normal life, which was already pretty fucking shitty. Kit Yates, a prominent member of Independent Sage, tweeted that we would soon be, in quotes, hearing the "it's time we learn to live with monkeypox" takes from politicians who have, in quotes, stopped giving a fuck about public health. At the other extreme, Majid Nawaz claimed that the global palace coup will soon see an attempt to bring in new lockdowns in line with the proposed WHO pandemic treaty, and pointed to Microsoft founder Bill Gates' prediction in November 2021 that the next pandemic could come from smallpox, to which monkeypox is related. Isn't it kind of ironic, the fact of the matter, that Bill Gates sat there and predicted the whole COVID pandemic in November of 2019, right before it happened, and then now he predicted this whole little outbreak happening in November of 2021. It's a little strange, isn't it? I'm not saying there's necessarily any connection, but it's kind of peculiar that it happened to be in the same month, 2 years later. Wow, a bit too coincidental there, right? Especially if his prediction happens to come true and this turns into a whole nother pandemic, isn't it? This is all a little ironic of how much publicity the monkeypox outbreak is already getting across mainstream media, given the fact of the matter that it's only had one confirmed case out of 4 suspected cases here in the US and 200 globally across several countries that are either confirmed or suspected cases of it. It's really like a pretty small number, isn't it? Yet we have an emergency meeting being organized by the WHO and the CDC even getting involved with it already too, in addition to mainstream media coverage on a wide scale. It's not something you stereotypically see a lot of time, or at least never before, for something that's kind of this small. Just some food for thought there. Big Pharma and the governments of the world didn't at all do a shitty nor greedy job at maintaining the outbreak of COVID before. No, not at all. Taking forever to delete, not at all taking a long time to find the origins of COVID, making safe, affordable vaccines for the world, reducing fatalities. They didn't at all, hoard vaccines from poorer countries, which proved that they could reproduce the vaccines. All they needed was, the recipe to make them. No, not at all. They didn't do that and privatize them, and keep it away from them so this whole pandemic wouldn't end any sooner. That's exactly what they wanted. They wanted the pandemic to end sooner. They really did. That's why, they hoarded it from them. Yet people wonder why so many of us have such a hard time believing Big Pharma and all their buddies. Now, apparently, the Wuhan Institute of Virology actually created a strain of its own of the monkeypox virus, given the fact that there was none previously in their records. That's gain-of-function research, by the way. That's illegal here in the US and has been flagged as extremely dangerous by many scientists. Monkeypox viruses have strains that are more pathogenic and have been reported to infect humans in various parts of the world. Since monkeypox virus's infection has never been associated with an outbreak in China, the viral genomic material required for qPCR detection is unavailable. In this report, we employed dual selective transformation-associated recombination TAR to assemble a 55 kilobit monkeypox virus's genomic fragment that encompasses E9L and C3L, 2 valuable qPCR targets for detecting monkeypox viruses or other orthopox viruses. The primary purpose of assembling a fragment of the monkeypox virus genome is to provide a nucleotide template for monkeypox virus detection. As an efficient tool for assembling large DNA fragments up to 592 kilobits in length, transformation-associated recombination, assembly has become essential for preparing infectious clones of large DNA/RNA viruses. Why would you ever create clones of a very pathogenic, or for those of you who don't know what that word means, easily spreadable virus? Wouldn't that make it more likely for an outbreak to happen, especially if it's created in a level 4 biosafety lab, which has been known to have several lab leaks since the beginning of its foundation? The Wuhan Institute of Virology has been reported several times to have had viruses leak from its lab. And a level 4 biosafety lab is supposed to be the most secure facilities to hold really dangerous pathogens. It's not fishy at all, right? In this study, although a full-length viral genome would be the ideal reference template for detecting monkeypox virus by qPCR, we only sought to assemble a 55 kilobit viral fragment, less than 1/3 of the monkeypox virus genome. This assembly product is fail-safe by virtually eliminating any risk of recovering into an infectious virus while providing multiple qPCR tests for detecting monkeypox virus or other orthopox viruses. The Wuhan Institute of Virology has been proven to have done risky coronavirus research, and that's just, right down the street from the Wuhan wet market where it miraculously fucking appeared from. Wow, it's really ironic, right? Now, again, I'm not saying that the outbreak happened intentionally or that this monkeypox outbreak was created or made to happen intentionally anyway. I'm just giving you guys some food for thought here, Gain-of-function research was banned by the US for a specific reason, yet we still have the NIH, which is a government-regulated body, by the way, who is working with the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which conducts gain-of-function research on coronavirus and monkeypox even now. The whole reason why gain-of-function research was banned was so that you wouldn't have the opportunity for a pandemic-level threat or a seriously dangerous pathogenic virus from spreading across the world and causing massive amounts of casualties and fatalities. Now, that's enough about what I think. What do you guys think? Fans, beloved members of my tribe, new viewers, etc. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you guys didn't make it to the end of this video, go ahead and leave the word irony in the comment section below to let me know that you guys made it to the end and are a part of the 100% club. Remember, you guys, that it's okay to think independently of the systems that we're in and the people around us. It's okay to think differently. It's never not okay to think outside the box, because that's how we advance as a society, and that's the true product of scientific mind, is to question everything. That's going to be it for us today, my dudes. If you guys did enjoy, as usual, please don't forget to, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this. Helps show others that, it's okay to think independently, and helps to get us further up in that YouTube algorithm. Thank you to all 89 badass motherfuckers of this YouTube tribe. I appreciate you guys very much. Until next time, though, please don't forget to live long, prosper, take care and peace, and keep it 1,000,000% real. I'll see you guys on the flip side.